I'm Barry.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to March Madness
2023. Every year I spend so many hours working on my bracket and my picks, researching. And my picks always suck. But this year it's going to be different.
Yes, it is. Okay, everybody, so here's what we're going to do. As you can see, we've got 16 yellow chips and 16 red chips laid out here. We're going to put the chips in a hat. If it's a 16 versus 1 seed, we'll put 16 of one color, 1 of the other, pull out of the hat, and see what happens. The reds will represent the higher seed, and the yellows will represent the lower seed. And for the first game, we have Alabama versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. So let's go. We need 16 reds that Alabama gets, and 1 yellow for Texas A&M. Take it up. Let's see what we get. Whoa.
Wait.
that's the 1 yellow. So that's
Corpus Christi moves on.
Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
It's already wild.
Okay. All right, so we've made it through the South and East regions, and here's what we got. Probably the biggest upset we've pulled is Texas A&M Corpus Christi over Alabama. We've got Maryland, Charleston, Virginia, Creighton, Baylor, Mizzou, and Princeton all advancing in the South region. So you got the 16 and the 15 seed. In the East region, we've got Purdue, Memphis, Duke, Tennessee, Kentucky, Kansas State, USC, and Marquette. Really no real upsets in that East region unless you count USC. So let's move on to the Midwest and the West, starting with Houston and Northern Kentucky. All right, what do you... All right, we made it through the Midwest region. And the rundown, we have Houston, we got Auburn advancing, we have Miami advancing, and the biggest upset we have Indiana going down to Kent State. So we know that's not going to happen. Iowa State moving on, Xavier moving on, Penn State moving on, and Texas moving on. So now we'll move on to the fourth and final region, the West region, starting with Kansas versus Howard. All right, so we finished the West region, and moving on, we've got Kansas, Arkansas, St. Mary's, UConn, TCU, Gonzaga, and the big upset, Boise State over Northwestern, and UCLA. So that finishes the first round, and we'll move on to the next round. All right, here we are, second round, South region. Starting with Texas A&M Corpus Christi versus Maryland. All right, Texas A&M.
Oh my God.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got, in the Midwest region, we've got Houston moving on over Auburn. They will face Miami. We've got Iowa State over Xavier, and they will face Texas. Moving down to the West region, Kansas, the favorite in the region, moving on. They're going to face UConn, and the Zags are going to face UCLA. Let's go to the
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. No, wait, is it the Sweet 16 or Elite 8?
The Sweet 6. Oh, the Elite 8.
Well, this is the Sweet 16. Starting with Texas A&M Corpus Christi, the Cinderella versus Virginia, 16-4.
so confused.
This is crazy.
So, moving on to the Elite Eight, we've got the Cinderella story, Texas A&M Corpus Christi over Virginia. We've got Baylor. In the East, we've got Purdue facing Marquette. Midwest, we have Houston versus Iowa State. And in the West, we've got Kansas versus the Bruins. Should we stop it?
Yeah.
Take a picture?
Take a picture.
Okay, so here we go. We're in the, what are we in, the Elite Eight? Moving on to see who makes it to the Final Four. We start with Texas A&M Corpus Christi versus Baylor. So 16.
Here we go.
This would be crazy if they move on.
Corpus Christi moving on. This will become the best video of all time.
All right. All right, Baylor. Baylor going to the Final Four. All right, so moving on to the Final Four, we've got Baylor finally knocking out the Cinderella story, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We've got Marquette knocking out Purdue and Mr. Edey. We've got Houston over Iowa State and UCLA knocking out Kansas. So Final Four, Baylor, Marquette, Houston versus UCLA. Nah.
It would be funny if you kept that in. The part that's like, should I cut it? Like,
Start,
how
start
you
this
thought-
over.
What?
Because this part, we can. There's only 2 teams, so they could actually watch us do it. This is not going to be sped up. They're going to hear us. They're going to.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. They're going to hear us talking. Ready? All right. Moving on to the Final Four, we have Baylor going up against Marquette and Houston versus UCLA. So let's see who's going to win Baylor versus Marquette. We get 2 for Marquette, 3 for Baylor. Shake it up. And
Baylor's
we've got
moving on.
no Marquette's moving on.
Oh, Marquette's moving on.
They're the 2 seed. So we've got Marquette moving on, and they're going to face either Houston or UCLA. Houston. All right, so here we go. In the finals, we've got Houston versus Marquette. Marquette's a 2 seed. Houston's a 1 seed. So we get 1 yellow, 2 reds. And let's see what happens. Let's see who's going to take home the national championship 2023.
And it's Houston!
Houston, we've got a problem. All right, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We filled out the bracket. We've done all the work for you. We've got Houston winning the whole thing. And we'll let you know in a few weeks how this works out.
Congratulations, Houston.